You are lying to yourself. You complain that you're exhausted. You say you don't have time. You tell everyone you're too tired to learn a new skill, too drained to start a side hustle, too busy to read a book about personal finance. But the moment your phone rings, the moment there's a party, or a debate about soccer, or drama to talk about, suddenly you have endless energy. You can talk for 3 hours straight. You can stay up until 2 in the morning. You are sharp, engaged, and active. You aren't physically exhausted. You are just mentally lazy. And it is quietly robbing you of your future. Let me take you back to the beginning, to the exact moment the trap was set. You are 20 years old. You are in a crowded apartment. The music is loud. The air smells like cheap beer and cologne. You are sitting on a worn-out couch with 3 of your best friends. Your friend Mark is talking about soccer. He is going on and on about a player's statistics, analyzing the game, raising his voice, using his hands. Your other friend, David, is arguing with him. They are both completely locked in. And you are loving it. You are chiming in. You are laughing. You feel alive. You feel smart. You feel a sense of belonging. At 1 a.m., the conversation shifts. You start talking about the future. You all agree that you are going to be successful. You say you are going to start a business. You say you are going to be rich. And you mean it. In that moment, you genuinely believe it. You go home at 2 a.m. You are too wired to sleep. You open your laptop. You Google how to start a business. You read the first paragraph of an article. And then you feel it. A heavy, dragging feeling behind your eyes. A fog rolls into your mind. Your eyelids get heavy. You feel a physical exhaustion so deep in your bones that you almost fall asleep sitting up. You think, I'm just tired from the night. I'll start tomorrow. You close the laptop. You go to sleep. And tomorrow never comes. This cycle repeats for years. Friday night comes. You have endless energy to argue about politics for 4 hours. You have the mental capacity to analyze a movie, plan a weekend trip, or debate about relationships until the sun comes up. Your brain is a razor. But Saturday afternoon, when you sit down to learn to code, when you open a book about economics, when you try to build a digital product, 10 minutes in, you hit a wall. You feel physically sick. You check your phone, you look at the clock, you think, this is too hard, I need a break. You close the laptop, and an hour later, you're back on the couch, talking for 2 hours about nonsense with your friends, full of energy again. Why does that happen? Your brain is a machine, and like any machine, it takes the path of least resistance. Talking, partying, scrolling, arguing, and these things are easy. They require zero friction. They give you instant dopamine. Your brain loves it. It gets a reward for zero effort. But building wealth, learning a high-income skill, reading about compound interest, that requires friction. That requires your brain to burn actual glucose to process complex new information. It's uncomfortable, it's boring, and because your brain doesn't get an instant reward, it sends a signal to your body saying, let's stop. This is too hard. Let's go do something fun. So you waste your time. Let's look at the math. You spend 2 hours a day talking about things that don't matter. You spend 3 hours on the weekend partying. You spend an hour a day scrolling through social media, watching other people live their lives. That's 28 hours a week. Over a year, that's 1,400 hours. Do you know what 1,400 hours is? It's the equivalent of a full-time job. You are working a 35-hour-a-week job, entertaining yourself. If you took just half of those hours, 700 hours a year, and applied them to learning a skill, you would be unstoppable. 700 hours is enough to learn to code. It's enough to build a business. It's enough to read 50 books, but you don't, because you'd rather talk. You are so afraid of being bored that you are willing to sacrifice your entire future to avoid it. You think you are living your best life when you're out at the club or when you're on a group call laughing, but you aren't living, you are escaping. You are using fun to numb the quiet voice in your head that knows you are capable of more. You feel that voice right now, don't you? That slight knot in your stomach. That's your potential, rotting away. Years pass. You are 27 now. You are sitting at a desk. You are staring at a spreadsheet, the numbers blur, you feel that same heavy exhaustion you felt when you were 20. Your phone buzzes. It's Mark. He wants to talk about the game. You pick up the phone, you talk for an hour, the exhaustion vanishes, you hang up, the exhaustion returns. You look around the office. You see people who are 40. They have gray hair. They are still answering emails. They are still staring at the same screens. They look dead inside. And you realize something terrifying. You are becoming them. The fun didn't lead to success. The talking didn't build a business. The partying didn't create wealth. It just killed time. And now, time is running out. You go home that night. You sit on your bed. You feel a panic rising in your chest. You realize you have wasted 7 years. 7 years of endless energy poured into things that didn't pay you back. You decide to change. You say, no more. I'm going to be disciplined. You delete the social media apps. You tell your friends you can't go out this weekend. You sit down at your laptop. You open a course on web development. You stare at the screen. 5 minutes pass. The friction starts. Your brain screams at you. This is boring. Check your phone. Go to the kitchen. Clean your room. Do anything but this. You grip the desk. You force yourself to watch the video. 10 minutes. 15 minutes. The pain is physical. You feel a headache forming. You feel restless. Every nerve in your body is telling you to stop. But you don't stop. You sit in the discomfort. You do 15 minutes every day. Then 30. Then an hour. And slowly, over weeks, something changes. The friction disappears. You enter a flow state. You start understanding the code. You build your first simple website. You make your first $100 online. Your friends call you on a Friday night to talk about soccer for 3 hours. You look at your phone, you look at your laptop, you realize you don't want to talk. You want to build. You decline the call, you put the phone down, you open the laptop. Nobody applauds you, nobody throws you a party. It is the quietest thing in the world. But in that quiet room, you are finally waking up. You spend the next 2 years in silence. You build, you learn, you save, you invest. Your bank account grows. Your mind sharpens. You are finally free. And then comes the twist. You are 29 years old. You have achieved what you set out to do. You have money, you have skills, you have freedom. You decide to celebrate. You decide to go back to the old apartment. You call Mark and David. You tell them to come over. You want to show them what you built. You want to share your success with the people you used to argue with until 2 a.m. They arrive. They look older, tired. You sit on the same worn-out couch. The music is playing. Mark starts talking about soccer. He uses the same statistics. He makes the same arguments. He raises his voice. David argues with him. They are using the exact same words they used 10 years ago. And you sit there, listening. You wait for the feeling. You wait for the rush of dopamine. You wait for the engagement, the energy, the sense of belonging. But it doesn't come. Instead, you feel a cold dread wash over you. You look at Mark, you look at David, and you realize something that changes everything. They haven't changed, not one bit. They are still having the same conversations. They are still making the same promises. They are still talking about someday. But someday never came. You thought you were escaping the rat race by building wealth. But the real trap wasn't the lack of money. The real trap was the echo chamber. You realized that your friends were never holding you back out of malice. They were holding you back because they were stuck. And misery loves company. They needed you to stay. They needed you to argue about soccer. Because if you left, if you succeeded, it would mean they could have done it too. And that was a truth they couldn't face. They were using you as a distraction. And you were using them. You stand up, you don't say anything, you walk to the door. Mark calls out, "Where are you going? The game is about to start." You turn around, you look at your friends, you feel a deep sense of pity, but you also feel a deep sense of gratitude. You almost stayed. You almost let them drag you back into the comfortable prison of mediocrity. But you didn't. You walk out the door, you never look back. You realize now that the hardest part of building wealth isn't the work. It's the loneliness. It's the isolation. It's the realization that to reach the top, you have to leave the bottom behind, and the bottom will always try to pull you back. Stop wasting your energy on things that don't pay you back. The fun will always be there. but your time won't. Stop talking, stop scrolling, start building. You felt that guilt in the first 10 seconds of this video. That was your potential knocking, reminding you of what you're wasting. Don't numb that feeling again. If you are tired of being mentally lazy and you actually want to build wealth, subscribe to this channel. This is your corner of the internet for deep work, quiet building, and financial freedom. No more excuses. Hit subscribe, turn off your phone, and let's get to work.